Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl May.
How's everything with you?
Pretty good. Not too much, going on. Been doing some arts and crafts, some DIYs to keep myself busy. Made some waist beads. Did some canvas painting. What about yourself?
Nothing. Working. I'm hot, tired. But yeah, just trying to, I started my nesting phase that everybody talks about. So just baby prepping. That's all.
Oh, baby's coming soon. Exciting time. What have you got so far? Have you got crib and all that stuff? Bassinet or not?
Just got clothes and stuff. We were trying to wait to see okay, see what the baby shower brings, and then we'll go to Target and get everything, which I'm dreading because now I'm I'm not gonna say I judge, but I'm when I get pregnant, I'm gonna be able to walk around Target and I'm not gonna be in one of those little basket thingies. And I'm yeah, I'm probably gonna be in one of those basket thingies. So we got clothes and just bottles, stuff that's okay, we'll just buy this for now. But yeah, so I'm probably gonna be that pregnant woman in a scooter at Target. So.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Oh,
but yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into this week's hot topics. Since we are talking pregnancy, Nicki Minaj announced today that she is pregnant. Not really a surprise to most, because if you saw that Trolls video, she definitely was pregnant.
I was who is she announcing this to? Because I'm I ain't want to be that person. I'm she looks pregnant sitting down, but okay. Yeah. I'm gonna wait until she comes out and just say it on her own.
Basically, her boobs alone in that Trolls video were ginormous. And I was now sis, if you was trying to hide this pregnancy, you are not doing a great job. But the photos that came out were really pretty. That one where I guess she was the Virgin Mary or whatnot.
Yeah,
was super cute. That one was super cute. They did a good job on the photos. Congrats to her. I know that that's something that she's wanted for a long time. So, and babies are always a blessing and always a good thing. So we enjoy happy news around these parts. That's pretty much the only happy news we have.
Yeah, pretty much that's it.
I guess scratch that. There is one other I think is happy news. Monique has a small victory in court. The judge didn't throw out. Netflix wanted them to throw out the lawsuit. The judge did not throw out the lawsuit. I'm not sure if it's he or she, but the judge did allow for the lawsuit to continue. So she will be able to present her case for discrimination based on, listen, I saw they did a little rundown that the judge gave of why he was allowing, or he or she, was allowing the case to continue. And baby, she might have a good case.
Listen, I'm all for bro, pay her coins, because I'm you, and I don't know what people when she first came out, people's ain't nobody checking for her, and she ain't did this and she ain't. I'm but do y'all understand some of the people dollars that they pay? Amy Schumer is not funny. Fact. I'm some of the people that they have given specials to with more money, ain't nobody checking for them either. But they gave them more money, and then you want to come in and penny pitch her. No. Not gonna happen. Yeah. But you're about equality and diversity or whatever, but this is how you come in. Because I'm Chris Rock, I don't find him particularly funny. And I'm he hadn't had anything in a while when he got his Netflix special. And you pay him?
Yeah, very true.
So, I'm happy for her and I hope she wins.
Me too. I'm always happy to see us get them coins. So salute to her and ha to all you naysayers. But yeah, like I said, just reading the rundown, she might have. It seemed like she got a decent case. So we shall see what comes to play from that. Moving right along, obviously, really sad news. Tamar Braxton, she's hospitalized this week. I mean, listen, I don't like to speculate, but obviously it's out there. They're saying that it was an attempted suicide. Either way it goes, she now has woken up, and they said she's been moved to another hospital to address any type of mental health situation. I'm just glad that she is okay, that they got her a wellness check, that they're getting her some help, that the people who are around her are, were there just able to, you know what I mean, get there in time and be able to help her out and bring her to a hospital. To me, that's the biggest, most important thing, is that she's able to get the help that she needs, whatever occurred. You know what I mean? We don't know all the details, even though we did see some things leak, which I really, really didn't like at all. Like, I want to know who was leaking that stuff to the press, like the supposed suicide tweet or text or whatever. I want to know who the hell leaked that, because that's absolutely, if that was real, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, what type of friend, family, whoever, like, come on, man.
Trashy. But I'm like you say, I'm happy that at least, like, I think her boyfriend is the one who found her. So I'm like, happy he found her, and I like wish her the best. I know, like, it's a lot, like she was saying, from the TV show and all of that stuff. So who knows? But
yeah, I mean, clearly she's been unhappy for a while. With everything that's going on, I guess, with the way that she feels like she's perceived, or that the contracts or TV people have in her contract that she has to behave, the issues that it's caused between her family, and just all. I mean, and listen, we in the middle of a pandemic. People already with anxieties and depressions, it's heightened, you know what I mean, because you feel isolated and all of that. So just like I said, prayers up to her and her family. Just glad that she's okay, and the people who love her and really mean well for her were able to get her the help that she needed.
Yeah.
I guess we can kind of stay in that realm as well. Nick Cannon, obviously we've seen a situation where he said some anti-Semitic comments a while back on his podcast, and they came back up. He was fired from Viacom. He made an apology, so he kept his job at the Masked Singer, but he just, I guess, all the guilt and all the people coming at him, he started to have suicidal thoughts. I don't know. All I know is I saw a couple of things that Nick Cannon was tweeting out there, and I was like, I don't know who is his family and friends, but y'all need to be around that brother ASAP. Because when he posted about the young man who was his friend who was signed to his label, and he put in there, this warrior actually had the balls to do it or whatever like that, because the gentleman committed suicide. I was like, nope, red flag. Whoever's his friend need to be there ASAP, because it's just, I don't like to see, especially, and then he already has like issues with, because doesn't he have lupus? I believe, like Tony Braxton, he has lupus.
Yeah,
so you have to think, with him dealing with all his issues with lupus and his kidneys, the lupus eating at his kidneys, so he's already dealing with that. Put on top of mental health, just the pandemic, all the criticism, all of like the criticism and all of that coming through. Like, listen, I don't know.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but I feel bad about like the suicide part, but I think when you make statements, not necessarily anything was, I guess, wrong with what he said, but when you make statements like that, you have to be ready to stand by them 100%, because they come in full force.
Yeah.
So
the only thing I will say is that I do not like the idea that Viacom will get to keep Walden out, or that Viacom will try to just replace him as a host or whatever like that. Because we all know,
But it's like, who the hell you gonna replace him with though? Because it's like Nick Cannon is corny, and it's just, and I hate when people like, oh y'all black dudes corny because blah. No, some dudes are just fucking corny, and Nick Cannon is one of those dudes. He's corny, but the show is his. I can't imagine watching Wild 'N Out and he not. Who else you gonna get to host it?
I mean, that was his brainchild. It was his idea. So but you know what, Viacom, you know how they do. They don't care. We're just a product to them in all forces. You know what I mean? We've seen that from Love and Hip Hop and Basketball Wives and everything else. So we know we are just a product to them. So if they feel like they can replace him, they absolutely will. Or if they feel like they own it, they absolutely will take it. So.
And I can see, but I'm like, yeah, y'all probably just gonna need to cancel it. Just call it a day.
Yeah. If that's the case, just go ahead and cancel it, because we not finna. If Nick Cannon ain't hosting it, ain't nobody finna support that. And I don't know what comedians they probably will get to continue, because the majority of them who are on that show all have said that they stand by, because Nick gave them a platform, a start. Yeah. We wouldn't know who DC Young Fly is if it wasn't for Nick Cannon and Wild 'N Out. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, that ain't gonna happen, but you know what I'm saying.
We shall see. Speaking of wait and sees, let's go ahead and jump into this crazy story. Megan Tory Lanez. We saw the Insta video where they were hanging out with Kylie Jenner at a party. Then a couple hours later, we hear that Tory Lanez is arrested for the possession of a gun. Then next thing you know, we're hearing that, we're seeing a video or whatnot, and they're trying to say that Meg was arrested. Then Meg and her friend come out and say that no, she was not arrested and that she was shot. All I know is the story just escalated super, super quick to the point where now we're at where it's looking like Tory Lanez may have. Again, we are just speculating. We do not know any facts. We are not trying to get sued. But yes, Tory Lanez may have been the one who shot Meg. Craziness. Just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like, what the hell? I guess, like, when you look at it and people like, well, why she not saying who shot her? And I'm like, but she can't tell us who shot her. Like, what the hell? I'm like, us knowing who shot her doesn't change anything. I'm like, you have to let the police do whatever investigation they're going to do. But I don't know. It's just crazy. And the fact that it looked like he's still in jail.
Yeah. And I mean, from all of the things that we do know, we know that there were 3 people in the car. We know that her friend already said she didn't shoot her. So
who did?
That's what I'm saying.
And her bodyguard came out and was like, she will be guarded at all times and she won't go nowhere else without me. This is me paraphrasing. And he was like, she'll be with me and some more dudes that won't be shooting at nobody's feet. So I'm like, and then I think like her producer was like, Tory Lanez, count your fucking days, and he deleted that tweet. So I'm like,
basically, obviously, it's a wait and see once Tory is released what the actual full charges will be. If the situation that we think did occur, if Meg will cooperate with police. Like, we don't know at all. You know, she may not even cooperate with the investigation. We don't know what's going to occur with the situation. So we all just kind of got to sit back and kind of wait and see. But either way it goes, like, super crazy situation. Obviously, when there's guns involved, that situation could have played out super differently, super traumatic for her. I hope that she is around people now who are there for her and taking care of her and kind of really helping her through, because regardless, sis was shot. Like, that's something in itself. And I know if I was in that position, I don't know, like, I would need people around me to be like, You good, sis? You know what I mean? Because your whole life probably like flashing at that point. Because who knows what could have happened with that gun? Like he shot her. I mean, well, she was shot in the foot. So you know what I mean? Like who knows how else that could have played out?
Yeah, and I for the life of me, of course, when this happened, I guess like people misogynoir like crept out and hate for women just like spewed all over the internet. And it's like sad to see where people's like, well, if she wasn't saying it's hot girl summer and all this, and then she would be protected. And I'm like, what? I'm like, where the fuck y'all get this from? What statistics bags that up that you have to exert a certain energy to be protected? I'm like, there are women, feminine, quote unquote, feminine women that get killed every day.
Facts.
I'm like, y'all are weird as hell, and especially I hate Curtis Jackson. No, that's a bad word, but I do.
Yeah.
I'm like, nothing about that situation was even close to funny.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. Like I've been seeing a lot of people kind of like joking about it. From 50 Cent, Joe Budden, and all them on his podcast were making light of the situation. All the like the little comedians and stuff are making light of the situation. Like I'm with you. I don't see anything funny about the situation. Like sis was shot. Like it wasn't no, pretend like she was for real shot, like had to get rushed to surgery, shot. You know what I mean? So I'm with you. I don't understand what was funny about the situation at all.
And I hope this give her, and I know she's like younger, but gives her, because I think she tries to be, or how she says, she's like, I just want to be cool with everybody. Boo boo. That's just a life lesson. You can't be cool with everybody. There's sometimes, and a lot of, especially I can imagine in Hollywood, you're going to have to pick a side and stay there. It's just not like that. Just because you're like, oh, I'm just trying to be cool with everybody. I don't do this. I don't do that. It don't work that way. Like, you're going to have to like pick and choose who you choose to hang out and deal with.
Yeah. Well, she did say in her tweet or post or whatever, she did say that it definitely taught her that she needs to protect her energy more in, the people, as far as the people that she keeps around her. So hopefully we'll see her kind of pull back a little bit from all the access that she allows people to her. Hopefully, like you said, her bodyguard said that he will be around from now on. Listen, keep your security up, sis. I don't care. I say that to any celebrity. With all the craziness, we've seen how many celebrities just be randomly shot and killed, or, from just random ass people. So that's to all celebrities out there. Keep your security up, just period. Because that's just, the whole situation was just, like, when I saw it come across, I was like, huh? Wait, what?
Right.
Just craziness.
Because at first I was like, when they showed the video, I was like, what's happening? And then I was like, so they made her get on the ground. Like, I didn't even like how the police treated her when they made her get on the ground. And I'm like, she was half clothed and she was already injured. Like, I ain't even like that.
Girl, listen, you know how I feel about them police, man. So, I don't like a lot of the things that the police are doing out here in these streets. So, I guess we can save Kanye for last. So, you said you saw that they're doing the Surviving Jeffrey Epstein?
Yeah, I saw that it's supposed to be, I guess, similar to like Surviving R. Kelly, his victims, which I don't know. I watched the special on Netflix, and it was just, I don't know, it's just not something like that was enough. Because it was horrible. And I know, like, people like, you'll be surprised at what celebrities, and I'm like, until they come out, like, not saying that they need to come, I need hardcore proof, but I'm like, rich people hang around with other rich people. And I'm like, you never know what people do, like in their personal life, or because I'm like, essentially, he had these girls around, like, I guess almost like hostess or something like that. And I'm like, every person that was there may have not known, because I'm like, you have to think about it. I'm like, they're in a socialite circle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not going to say every celebrity. Now, what I think is Prince Andrew. Yeah, his ass just in hot water. I was like, he should have just, yeah. Because the proof that they had, like when I watched it and he was trying to lie his way out, it was like, I don't know her and blah, blah, blah. And then they pulled a picture of this, like, because she was a young teenager. It was like, well, here you go in the picture with her. Be like, bro, just, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we knew with him being arrested and that whole thing, we knew that a shit show was coming after. Like, yeah. There's just going to be so much stuff. There's so many dominoes that are going to fall from this. We just saw that the woman who was basically said to be like his madam, the one who provided all the girls.
Yes, a groomer.
She was just arrested. So, listen, we know it's going to be a shit show, and people are going to start to get called out, and you know what I mean? And yeah. a lot of dominoes are going to fall from this whole situation. One that I guess sort of kind of fell, I don't know. We saw that people started pulling Chrissy Teigen's old tweet.
Oh, child.
And she had already went private before because of people were saying something about her kids or whatnot. But then I believe she came back. But then after that when they started pulling her old tweets again, she went private again. And then didn't they say she like blocked over, I don't know how many, was it like 1 million accounts in a day or some shit like that? She blocked a shit ton of people.
She blocked a lot of people. And she even went as far, I'm trying to find, she deleted 28,000 tweets. Ooh. Well, she said she actually deleted 60,000 tweets.
Ooh, wait.
Somebody said 28, and she was like, no, I actually deleted 60. And when I read her tweets, I was like, bitch, these are disgusting. It ain't, no way. Because I'm like, you can commentate. I used to commentate on Power, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder. Toddlers and Tiaras won my thing. But if you're going to commentate on it, that's fine. But what you did, boo-boo, you crossed a major line.
Yeah.
Like, some of her tweets a lot of were disgusting.
Listen, I'm telling you, there's just all these dominoes, man. That's all I'm saying. People are going to start to fall like dominoes. Skeletons are going to start coming out of the woodwork. I mean, we've already seen it with this pandemic because so many people have time on their hands now. You are seeing a lot of people going back and looking at people's old tweets, looking at old things that companies used to be a part of. I mean, we are seeing all kind of things coming out. So at this point, I ain't surprised by nothing. Like, I'm just too every day, like, seeing, okay, what's next? What else is 2020 finna throw at me?
Who did it? And what happened? Like, and then she's like, well, I'm being harassed. Ma'am, do you see the tweets that you put out? You should be harassed.
Not only that, do you not see how you harass people on a daily?
Listen. And I was like, I don't know, because I was like, maybe, I don't know. Like, I've never followed her. I'm not like a huge fan. Some of the stuff that she said about Donald Trump be funny, but that's about it. But I'm like, 2013, that wasn't super long ago. So I understand, I'm like, who's following her and then call her out for being creepy sooner? Because that's like nasty.
Agreed. So let's jump into our last hot topic for this week. Kanye West, he held a rally in South Carolina yesterday for his presidential run, which, by the way, let me just go ahead and say, he isn't even on most of the ballots He, according to report, even though he held a rally in South Carolina, he actually missed the deadline for South Carolina. So he's not even going to be on the. Listen, it was a pure D shit show, and all I saw was the little highlights online. I can't even imagine actually having been there. Like, what? Just everything from his comment. They said he broke down in tears, saying that his dad wanted to abort him. Then he turned around and said that he wanted to abort North. And then the part where he attacked the black woman.
Yeah.
Talking about Harriet Tubman didn't actually free slaves. And to think that we actually saw some people defending this man.
Listen, just to see people like, well, what he meant to say was, I'm like, no, I'm like, this is a grown ass billionaire. If whatever he meant to say, he could have said it. I'm like, he could hire writers, speech therapy, everything to make sure that he's ready to go. Campaign managers, all of this. People that can sit down and rehearse a speech with you, and you get on there and was like, well, I said first, and I don't know, people like, well, if you look at it, really, that's what happened. I'm like, so y'all realize you're gonna drag a person that basically took people to freedom. She ain't make sure she want a back to work program. She made sure that, baby, at least you're free. At least your next set of children won't be born under slavery like you were. At least you stand some type of chance of surviving. Because unlike we all know, the North was racist, or is and still is racist. They're just a little more passive. But we just got the brand of racism down south is a different type of beast. And I'm like, I put on my Facebook, I was like, I hope Harriet Tubman rise up and beat Kanye ass in his sleep.
Child, listen. I just don't understand what people get from dragging, or you know what I'm saying, like people who actually changed the course of history. Say whatever the fuck you want, but we're not gonna sit here and pretend like Harriet Tubman didn't change the course of history. Like literally risking her life time after time after time to bring our people from slavery. You know what I mean? Like from being someone's property, being every single day. You know what I mean? Like and that's what's crazy to me, or what bothers me the most, is just to continue to see people still defend him. I saw a tweet from Wale where Wale was like, so many of us have been speaking about mental health, really be out here struggling. Y'all drag the fuck out of us, but other people who barely speak about it unless they in some shit gets all kind of, you know what I'm saying, gets all kind of passes.
And at some point you have to be like, I love y'all. Y'all know I'm a Wale fanatic. I'm like, but he's honest. Like, okay, sometimes I'm not in the best headspace. There are a lot of people that deal with, whether it's celebrity, everyday people that deal with mental issues and like anxiety. I myself, anxiety can go from 0 to like 100% anxious in like 2 seconds. And I'm aware of that. And I'm like, Kanye is a grown man. It's not Kim's responsibility to put him in rehab. It's not his mother's fault no longer. It ain't him been right since his mama. Kanye knows that he's bipolar. He said he's bipolar. He said that he doesn't take his medicine because it loses his creative forces. Which, like, what have you really created not taking your medicine other than some fucking plastic shoes that people about to look stupid in? So I'm like, take your medicine, bro.
Yeah. Point blank and period. Because clearly, him not deciding not to take his medication, him not addressing his bipolar disorder, him not taking care of his mental health is all choices that he has made. So for us to continue to use those as excuses, it's not acceptable anymore. That's not an excuse anymore. He made the decision not to address and take care of his bipolar disorder. He did that. So
Right.
I'm not going to use that as an excuse. Oh, he's suffering from mental health issues for him to be out here on this bullshit or this nonsense. No, it's not an excuse because he, a grown ass adult, made the decision to not take his medication. He knows he's bipolar. He said it. Okay, so what are you doing to address it?
And that's what I'm like. It's not, it's just so many people like, well, Kim needs to get him help. He has to want help. And if you don't take your medicine, she can't shove it down his throat. Listen, go on there and take your fucking medicine. I was like, I give Kanye no passes because Kanye has the access to the best doctors, the best medicine that can be provided.
Yep.
I'm like, y'all not gonna sit here and treat this man like he's some, person that doesn't have health insurance, or even people that have half-ass health insurance or don't have access to like the best treatments. He has access to the absolute fucking best. And you want to sit out here and call him or be like, well, he didn't say it right. We still sucker. We still work for the white man. Shit, he worked for Adidas, white-owned company. Your point?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so y'all sit here and make all of these fucking concessions for him and excuses. He does the same thing. And now he coming out with an album and people like, oh, he a musical genius. Like I said, I still don't get the musical genius part. He to put out some hits, but I mean, y'all trying to put him like he's Stevie Wonder or somebody, like he just can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm with you on the part where you were talking about Kim. She may not be my favorite person in the world, but it is not her responsibility to take care of no grown-ass adult. You know what I'm saying? She can love that man. She can be there for him, but she cannot force feed no pills down his throat. You know what I mean? Like, he's an adult, a grown-ass man. The most she is, listen, she got, 4 babies? Listen,
right,
the most she can do is take care of them. Shit. Let her take care of them 4 babies like she trying to do. She ain't got time to handle a grown adult baby.
Be like, I'm sitting over here trying to get kids to eat fruit snacks and drink their water. I don't have time for this. And I'm like, again, not my favorite person, not my favorite family, but I'm pretty sure that she's like, hey, bro, you need to do something about it. And then he get on the whole rally last night. He was like, I don't care if Kim divorces me. Blah. What? Woo. So you probably at her wilding. And she, because I would have been mad when he was like, and I almost killed North or whatever. Like, what you say that shit for? That you should have kept.
Listen, I couldn't have been her in that situation because that would have been a oh, for real? This what we doing? Because I have a hard time believing it because I just don't believe that Kim even entertained the idea of aborting her child.
Definitely not how she out, because I'm like, that's one thing she had said she always wanted, and that was children.
Yeah. So all I know is when that comment was said, oh, let me go ahead and call this lawyer right now. I'm not even finna play with this man. Let me go ahead and call this attorney. That would have been me, because I'm not, I ain't even finna play with that man.
This is what we not finna do. And then, like, of course, he goes in on, she looked like the only black person there. Not sure. Maybe because we didn't see the whole crowd.
Yeah.
But he goes in on the one black woman that's in the crowd. But he gave a white woman a hug for showing that she was brave. Whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. I'm like, child, I don't need, like, and y'all realize something. But he could actually be president. How? So you just gonna move from one maniac to the next?
But my thing is the amount of people. The crazy thing was that the amount of people who literally was like defending him, going off on her, and like she had to come out and explain to people what happened from the little video that they showed. Like, you literally had people in the comments, oh, she probably wasn't intact, how she said it, what tone she said it in. But the fuck? This man is supposedly running for president. It don't matter what tone she said it in. It don't matter how she came at him, whatever. He should be able to answer a simple question about gun control and gun violence. He is running for president. And some of y'all fools is really out here talking about y'all gonna vote for him, and he can't even answer a simple fucking question about gun control. Are you kidding me? Without going off, and not only that, see some of the things that he said to her, like the anti-blackness in his speech when he said,
Listen.
"Oh, you just want the U.S. to be Wakanda." The fuck, calling her sister soldier. Ooh. It just, it gets my whole pressure up because I just can't. Disgust me. It just absolutely disgusts me.
That's so funny. I don't know. I'm just over people caping for him. Like, but when you, and it's just the point of when people like, well, if you look at it, if you look at nothing. I'm like, if you look at it, it sounds fucking foolish as how he said it. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly. And I'm just really like pissed off at everybody in this sentiment about talking about black people just want places to be Wakanda and we want black superiority, and that shit really it grinds my gears and works my nerves because I can't even fucking understand. When did we ever say that we was fighting for black superiority? When did we ever say that?
Like, where did this come from? Equity. We want to be treated the same. We want to live in peace. So if it's Wakanda, they're gonna have us living in peace where we can go outside, don't have to worry about Karen calling the police on us or all of this. I'm fine with that as well. Be like, but it's not about like, oh, I want to take the place of. I never want to take the place of quote unquote white people because that's not a good place to take.
Not at all.
But I do want to be in a space where I'm like, okay, I feel fine with my son going and hanging out with his friends that he won't be harassed, or my daughter won't be killed sleep because somebody didn't do their fucking job.
Fact.
And I'm like, that whole thing, I'm like, it was just like, bro, this is a black woman. And it was, I would say some celebrities that came out was like, bro, this is how you address a black woman though. But I'm like, Kanye been on that anti-black bullshit. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out, how y'all just now want to speak out. Like, T.I. just now want to say something. Bro, he been anti-black in his sentiment.
Yeah.
And I'm like, y'all hang on. One thing that he did was, George Bush don't care about black people. That's one thing. And that was very fucking obvious. It didn't take a fucking rocket science to do that or say that. But I'm like, he's also a fucking stunt artist as well. I'm like, but he didn't even respect Beyonce wishes when she told him, don't do the shit with Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Like, she had a whole husband to speak out for her if it was that serious.
Yep. All I know is I can't wait for him to drop this album or do whatever the fuck it is that he gonna do, so we don't have to hear from him for a couple months, so he could be quiet. But I will say to all y'all out there, when he was on his whole, when he dropped his little gospel album and all of that, y'all was like, "Oh, Kanye back." It's the truth, for real. How y'all feeling right now? I just want to know. I'm just curious. I'm just curious.
Bro, I ain't back nowhere.
Okay, because when we all said that whole gospel album and church service and all that was a ploy, we was wrong. We was wrong. People allowed to find the word however they find it and blah blah blah. When we said it was a ploy, we was wrong though. How y'all feeling right now? I just want to know. I just.
Girl, they probably still out there making excuses. Well, what had happened was, this is the reason why. Yeah, shut your ass up.
Facts. Anywho, well, that is all that we have for hot topics this week. Let's go ahead and jump into the relationship portion of the show.
Alrighty. And we have one question. I saw it floating around on Facebook. But it's, do y'all believe, or do you believe that people's childhood affect their relationship with people? And I guess we're going to do it in a romantic sense.
My response to that is absolutely. Absolutely. People who, I think we've seen it. Even if we take just like celebrity relationship, just as like an example, since we all were talking about Will and Jada last week, seeing Jada Pinkett and hearing like all of her stuff from her childhood and all that, and seeing how that has come to play in her marriage and in her relationship. Hey, I definitely think, I mean, I've seen it play out in real life. I've dealt with dudes who, whether it had their, they have daddy issues or mommy issues or whatever, their childhood that they bring into the relationships, that they, when they're dealing with you as a woman. So, yeah, I definitely think people's childhood does come to play in their romantic relationships. What about yourself?
I definitely agree. And most of it is not so good. The crazy thing about it is the question that when I saw the question, it was actually from this guy's account. And I was like, I just wish he'll say he hate women and just move along. And I was like, who hurt you? But I actually know him personally. And I'm like, bro, you just need to go to counseling with your mama and just tell her how you really feel and stop telling other Black women that. But I mean, I definitely, when I say definitely, think of it like, yes. And I was like, y'all, a lot of people need counseling so they can get that monkey off their back and heal and hopefully treat people better in their relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. Therapy, man. I'm telling you. Therapy. Like, therapy can really help a lot of folks out here in dealing with people in general. Shit. All right. So my relationship question for this week is pretty simple. Have you ever ghosted someone?
I have. Not my best moments, because yeah, I have. And I don't know. I don't necessarily feel super bad about it. I guess I was like 21, 22, and I was like a ghost queen, like real life, like, well, don't like that conversation, let me move on. Next. Or like I would get my number changed in a heartbeat, like, you get on my nerves. See, mother, change my number. Like, just change the whole number. Be like $15, that's fine. Add it to my next bill. But yeah, Now when I got older, this is my redemptive story. I did try to, like, it wasn't so much as ghosting. I guess you could say it's ghosting. Yeah. But I was like, well, hopefully he get the picture when I don't respond to his messages. And then one day he just randomly he was like, can you just tell me what I did? And I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like shit. Ooh. And I was like, you didn't do anything. I was like, this just not going to work between me and you. We just, we're just not compatible. And he was like, okay. So I was like, I should have probably did that at first. But yeah. How about yourself?
I also definitely have done it. It was like when I was like 19, 20, that age when you just really out here not giving a fuck. And so, I will say that it was just, I was like you, man. I just, in general, was like, oh, nope, not dealing with you. Don't want to deal with you. Click, nothing to talk. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of us, or most of us, have ghosted people, especially like around that age. And then as we get older, we just realize it's just so much easier just to have the conversation, to do the adult thing, to sit down and have the conversation, or, to call somebody up and be, look, hey, this just ain't us. We just ain't it. No, I don't want to be friends, but it was nice meeting you. Cool, bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much more easier to have that conversation than to just spend time. Because I remember, like, when I used to ghost dudes or whatever back then, like, you would always have to be concerned, like, shit, is he gonna pop up at this next party? Like, should I go to this motherfucker? Because I met him at that one party. He might be at that next alpha party. I might not be. So, but nonetheless, yes, I think that's a universal thing. Male, female, everybody, non-binary. We've all kind of had that situation where we have ghosted someone for whatever reasons, and most of us, I think, lived and learned from it.
Yeah, I definitely did. Won't do it anymore. Won't have the opportunity.
All right. So, any, new TV, music, books, anything that you want to discuss, get off your chest, rant about?
So, I don't know if you got a chance to watch it. I did watch Fatal Affair with Omar Epps and Nia Long.
I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet.
Oh, child.
Is it good?
I'm going to let you judge. Ooh, that's all I'm going to say. We'll just talk about it next week if you watch.
What's the review? Nah, I don't care. What's the review?
It was horrible.
Oh, Lord.
It was so bad that I was like sleepy and I was like, this got to be better than this. Like, it's going to get better than this. It was bad. And it left you so many questions because it's like, well, why you just don't do this? Well, why you just don't do this? And yeah. Yeah. I was like, nah, this ain't it, Chief.
When I saw the preview, I was like, didn't Sanaa Lathan already make this movie with Michael Ealy and the other dude? Because I was just like, this seemed like the exact same movie.
And it's the same dude.
Really?
Now that I think about it, the light skinned dude was in. Maybe he wasn't in No, he was in the Sanaa Lathan movie. Yeah. Yep.
He's the being Mary Jane guy, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Get the out of here. That's crazy. They use the same exact dude.
Yep, and I was like...
So does he play the stalker in this movie or no?
No, that's the only difference. He plays the husband this time. So.
Oh, okay.
But it's still, I'm like, okay.
Well, I'm going to watch it just to give it the views because it's black folks. And, I support the black folks, but I ain't gonna get my hopes up.
When I saw the little status, it was like, if Neil Long and Omar Epps didn't want to do the movie, they could have just said so. Because I'm like, boy, yeah, that was bad.
Oh, child. Anything else?
No, that's all.
All right. So for me, I'm trying to think. Have I watched anything new? No. I did check out the 2 new Drake songs, Grease and Popstar. Well, I guess they're DJ Khaled featuring Drake. Ain't my favorite. They're not my favorite. Honestly and truthfully, I really, really, and I'm like, everybody knows how much I love me some Drake. I'm like a huge Drake fan. Love me some Aubrey Graham. But Drake has gotten lazy. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Drake has gotten lazy when it comes to the bars. He's gotten lazy. He knows that it doesn't matter what the fuck he says on the track. It's going to go up the charts. So he's gotten lazy when it comes to rapping. And I just ain't feeling it. The last couple of records that he's put out, it ain't hit for me. And maybe I've grown out of Drake. I don't know, but he definitely ain't hit for me. Like the last couple records he done just haven't hit for me. We still could have some babies though. We still could have some babies.
Did you see his photos that he uploaded though?
Huh?
Did you see his photos that he uploaded? I think, was it like one day last week? Was it like Friday or something like that?
Oh, where are you talking about the ones where he like in the pool and all that stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely seen that. He definitely got the dad bod going now. But you know what? I've loved him through all things. I loved him back when he was Jimmy on the
I'm still slightly judging you.
Oh, listen, leave my nerds alone.
No. When you told me that, I was like, so you mean Degrassi drinking? You was like, oh my gosh, yes. I was like,
he was so cute then. He was cute then. He was adorable on Degrassi.
Oh my gosh.
And listen, I'm really upset at him because like when he first went down to Barbados, he had like the little curls going. I was like, yes, he is finally bringing back the curls. And he cut them shits off again. I'm very disappointed. I just want him to know. I'm hurt and disappointed by this. Because I am team curls. I want him to bring the curls back. I'm over the waves. I want the curls back. But anywho, that is all that we have for relationships and all of that jazz, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my favorite portion of the show, which is the nerd moment of the week. This week is a special nerd moment. As you all should know, we lost the civil rights legend John Lewis this week. He passed away, I think it was at like 88 or 89. I want to say 88 or 89. He was in his 80s. So definitely lived a long life, legendary life, did so many amazing things in his life. I just want to point out something out there for the nerds that we kind of are familiar with. Back in 2016, he attended Comic-Con dressed, he cosplayed as himself. He had on the coat and the backpack from when he walked across the bridge in Selma with Dr. King. And he basically was at Comic-Con and he kind of walked around with all the kids, kind of leading them through Comic-Con. Just really kind of symbolizing to all of us, and to just people around the world, that not all heroes wear capes. You know what I mean? He just was a true hero, a true legend, civil rights pioneer. And we just want to say rest in power to him. And thank you for all the service that you did for us and, for the community. And that is the nerd moment of the week. Anything else for you on your end, Falan DeAnn?
Nothing else for me.
All right. Well, then, per usual, I want to thank you guys so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Good night, guys.
Good night.